On this episode of Bite Sized, we are watching and discussing the 7th scene from the film Twilight. For those of you who are watching along at home, that is from 7 minutes and 40 seconds to 10:20, a good long one. And now, on to the episode. Hello and welcome to yet another episode of Bite Size, the only podcast that is watching the Twilight movies in order, one scene at a time. If there's another one, I'd like to know about it because I'm accidentally ripping them off or they're ripping me off, but that is neither here nor there. My name is Ben Abear. I am your host as always, and as always, I am joined by a guest. With me today is an actor and comedian from Chicago, Lexi Alioto. Welcome to Bite Size.
Thank you for having me.
Hey, thank you for being here. How's it going?
I'm doing great. I'm really happy to be part of this.
Great. How you been? What's your weekend like?
Oh my good. Coming up or previous?
I don't know. That was a bad question. Take it as you will.
Well, I would say, we're here in Chicago and we've got sunny skies, 80s. It's looking real good. I do have to work on Saturday, but hopefully I get outside. Hopefully get to a patio.
Oh, yeah.
I'm thinking of margarita.
Yeah, Mindy and I are going on a boat tomorrow.
Oh,
she found
lucky.
like super cheap tickets for like a boat thing.
Oh, that's
I'll tell
amazing.
you all about it when we're done recording.
Yeah, I want to hear about that because I would love a boat.
It's on Gold Star, if you're
Let's go.
familiar.
I'm familiar.
Yeah. I'm going to start this off with the same question I use to start off all my interviews, and that is by asking you, Lexi, what is your history with the Twilight franchise?
Okay, well, when it came out, I think in high school, and I had read the books. I was reading them, not along with the movies coming out, because I think the books were already all written at that point.
Yeah.
So once the first movie came out, I absolutely saw it, and then was like, I gotta dive in on these books. Started the books. I would equate them to what the modern day, 50 Shades of Grey is for vampire fiction and
They're very
fun.
closely related.
I mean, obviously,
Yeah.
steamy and fun, but also young adult. That's what they're labeled as.
For sure.
So it's wild because there's a lot going on here, but also going to see the movies. I love them.
Yeah.
I was all about it.
You as a young adult.
As a young adult,
enjoyed them.
It was not a sexual awakening, but I would say it was an exciting awakening.
Interesting.
Of being introduced to some, now we've got, what's his face? Edward Pattinson.
Robert Pattinson in the role of Edward.
I definitely know his name. Doing the game, we've got
Kristen Stewart.
Also, in the game. This is their humble beginnings here that we were able to see. Anna Kendrick.
It is. We're going to talk a lot about Anna Kendrick today.
I hope so.
I don't want to get ahead of myself.
We'll get there when we get there.
What a delight. What a ray of sunshine.
I'm all about them. I did midnight premieres for these movies at one point. Didn't dress up, but did the midnight premiere thing. Really cared about it.
Yeah.
I love the storyline. It gets weird, but the first one's the best.
Are you still a fan of them now? Do you rewatch the movies?
It has been a minute.
Okay.
I would for fun, I think.
Yeah.
A marathon rainy day. Why not?
Sure, why not?
I think it definitely requires a drinking game.
I'm sure there's got to be Twilight drinking games out there.
If not, I'll make one.
And now I want to do one. That sounds like fun.
Oh, we should. By the time you end this with all the episodes, you should play a drinking game by movie.
One movie
at a time.
From now? Cool.
Yes.
Sounds good.
I'll be there.
Because, as you know, we're going through this movie scene by scene,
Yes.
which is a very long way to watch a movie. We are today discussing... I just got distracted by a cat. We are discussing minutes 7:42 to 10:20. It's the first lunchroom scene.
Yes.
We start with Bella sitting at her new lunch table friends. The Cullens walk in.
Yep.
It's basically just an introduction to the Cullens and lunch in general. What were your first impressions of this scene, watching it for this film? This podcast, I mean.
I mean, it is the opening credits of Vanderpump Rules, but we've got the Cullens.
A whole lot of slow-mo.
It's slow-mo. It's gorgeous lighting. It's giving ghost. It's giving, ethereal. It's giving who are they. It's giving, hot high schooler vibes. And then there's, the geeky group that she's with, they're like, oh yeah, let's tell you about them. But she's really cool and new. And
Right.
Hey, Mikey, you met my homegirl Bella.
Oh, your homegirl.
Yeah.
My girl. Sorry, I had to mess up
Mike. Tyler.
Oh my god. It's like first grade all over again. You're the shiny new toy.
Most of this scene is just sort of people looking cool.
It is really about
just a lot of serving.
Them looking, them laughing, them.
Right.
It's like kind of like when we meet the plastics in Mean Girls
Yeah.
in the movie, where they're like, "This is the table, this is that table, and those are the plastics."
Mm-hmm. And let's talk about the intros, because we do see the Cullens. They arrive all at the same time, but it's almost like they give each other a little space to all make their own intros.
Yes.
It's all timed out perfectly.
It is.
Who are they? The Cullens. They're Dr. and Mrs. Cullens' foster kids. They moved down here from Alaska like a few years ago. They kind of keep to themselves. Yeah, because they're all together. Like, together. The blonde girl, that's Rosalie, and the big dark-haired guy, Emmett, they're like a thing. I'm not even sure that's legal. Jess, they're not actually related. Yeah, but they live together. It's weird.
You've got Emmett and Rosalie doing their super slow-mo.
Who are like probably mid-30s, early 40s actors.
Oh,
they look
for sure.
definitely like they don't go to high school.
Yeah.
Super seniors.
Just slow-mo catwalking. Alice and
Yes.
Jasper do a little slow dance.
He looks like he's gonna hold in a fart. His face is so stressed.
They even say in the movie he looks like he's in pain. What is up with that?
I think it has to do with his power.
Is he actually in pain?
I think he like emotes, like his like vampire power is like your emotions he takes on or something.
Got it.
It has something to do with his vampire powers is
He's
why
an
he's in
empath.
pain. It looks like he's holding in a shit.
Okay. Edward walks in just sort of by himself, just sort of bored.
Yeah.
But he's giving these little facial expressions like he is reading
Yeah.
everyone's mind in the room. So of the three entrances, go ahead and rank them for me. 1, 2, 3. This is America's Next Top Model.
Okay, love
Yeah.
it. I would probably go first entrance is giving like a strong energy.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe out of 5, we'd give it like a 4.
Okay.
Second entrance, a little weaker but flirty and fun, so maybe like a 3.
Mm-hmm.
And Edward, I mean, they saved the best for last.
Okay.
Who's he? That's Edward Cullen. He's totally gorgeous, obviously. But apparently nobody here is good enough for him. Like I care, you know? So, yeah. Seriously, like, don't waste your time. I wasn't planning on it.
Yeah, we do see the Cullens for the first time. Everyone's just so pale.
Very pale. I
Yeah.
identified. I really saw and felt
Sure.
their pain as a very pale person.
Yeah, me too. As
Who's
someone
afraid of the sun.
As someone who got a sunburn on a 30-minute walk home
Yeah.
from something over
Absolutely.
the weekend.
Yeah.
That's hashtag relatable. Let's see. We got the Cullens. They go sit at their own table. Anna Kendrick is with Bella and all the other just sort of nerds,
Island
I
of
guess.
Misfit Toys.
Yeah, a
is
little
what They
bit.
kind of gave me the vibes of. Like,
yeah.
There's a little bit of pandemonium going on at the top of the scene if we go back a little bit. Like,
Sure. Yes.
Like very much at the very top of the clip, you know, we're meeting the guy that has a crush on Bella. His name's Mike.
Yes, Mike.
And then we have the nerdy like kid that's like a photographer.
Also has a crush on Bella.
but also has a crush on Bella.
the newspaper guy,
The newspaper
right?
guy.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes. And then there's Anna Kendrick and the other like quirky girl
Who does not have a name yet.
who doesn't have a name
Yeah.
yet, who like, oh, she's writing for the school paper or something.
Taking
And
just awful pictures. 'cause
awful pictures.
She needs some candids.
Yeah. And they're like, stop. And then the guys are obsessed with her. And then the girls are sort of like, yeah, cool. And Anna Kendrick just sort of is like a little jealous. She's giving jealous vibes
is.
about, 'cause she likes Mike.
She is a ray of sunshine in an otherwise sort of, I've probably said this on the show before,
Agreed.
but she is just so much peppier than I think everyone in this movie put together.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
it-
yeah.
It makes her so much fun to watch.
I know. I enjoy the Anna Kendrick role. I
Me
really
too.
do.
Me too. She's one of my favorite performances, just in general.
And
but
that was
in
her,
this
I
movie
think that was her
especially.
debut as an actor too.
Definitely her
One
big
of the
break, I
things.
think. Yeah.
Because you're like, oh, Anna Kendrick, and she's in all of them. I think
Yeah.
she keeps doing them.
Yeah, she
along the
comes
way.
back. Yeah.
But there, it's just more like that gave me true high school, though.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if we're thinking of the world in which this resides,
Yeah.
like they're all hanging out, doing their thing, and then, it's more high school. And then, of course, we meet the Cullens, and it's like, oh, here come the stars.
How close was this to your high school experience?
Definitely different. We didn't have vamps rolling through.
Well, sure.
We had tables, I guess, of like different cliques for sure.
What clique table were you at?
Some sporty girls, some like Starbucks girls. Like we love to leave class early and go to Starbucks.
Would you say you were closer to the Cullen table or the Bella and her friends table?
Probably somewhere in between. I don't think we were a Cullen table of like shunning anyone. We were personable and fun and bubbly.
Yeah.
But not as like vogue as the Cullens.
Okay.
But also not as like lame as the other table.
Got it.
Somewhere in between.
Somewhere in the middle.
Somewhere.
That's what a Cullen table girl would say, I think.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Somewhere a Cullen table girl.
No, not that popular.
Not that popular, but medium popular.
Okay.
As popular as you can be in Wexford, Pennsylvania, I guess, to a degree of it. I wouldn't say popular.
How big was your high school? We have a little running tally trying to find who had the smallest graduating class.
Ours was 1,200.
1,200? Oh, you're probably winning right now.
As smallest?
No, as largest, I mean.
Oh,
You
yeah.
probably
It's
got the
pretty.
biggest.
It was
Yeah.
pretty. We had two separate buildings, like one for intermediate, which was 9th and 10th, and then
Yeah.
a separate building for 10, 11, and 12.
My graduating class was 12. Your graduating class is literally 100 times larger than mine.
Oh, my
Yeah.
God. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you think you win for the smallest?
Oh, for sure. It's
I
gonna
don't
be
know any
especially
for high school.
I was homeschooled.
Okay. Well, there you go.
And so it was me and
That's
11
right.
other people who just sort of, were there. That,
that
not,
were there.
Not all the graduating, not, obviously not all in my home.
Yeah.
They weren't siblings of mine. It wasn't like all the homeschoolers in Houston. It was just 12 of us who sort of all agreed to do it at the same night.
Do you have any connection between those 12 and the Cullens and or the other people?
Personality wise, we were all very much the Bella table.
Okay.
We were the weirdos, we were the dorks. But in the homeschool it's sort of weird because when you are a homeschooler, the whole community everyone is like that.
Sure.
And so even like the cool popular kids are just the most outgoing of the nerds and dorks. And so I, by my homeschool standards, was a popular kid.
Yeah.
And I guess there were some like
Definitely.
There were some Cullen-y kids that I knew growing up.
Sure.
But usually by senior year, they had convinced their parents to let them go to public school because
Totally.
they didn't like homeschooling. Makes sense. So those of us that did make it to senior year were definitely, simultaneously popular and losers, if that makes sense.
I mean, I think that the Cullens, are they the cool kids? They're the weird. I think they're weird in a different way of they are beautiful and literally all actors that look like they're in their 30s, but they are not really social and they can't hang out with anybody because they are vampires.
It's interesting
They're
because
drinking blood. They're too busy to hang.
Yeah, but they do their own thing, not because their peers have rejected them, but because they've decided to sort of not let anyone else in.
Yes.
Which means that the fact that they are outsiders makes them even cooler.
Right.
Yeah.
And I mean, they even mention it in the little intro. Anna Kendrick's like, oh yeah, and they're all dating each other, which is kind of weird, but we don't know if that's illegal.
Yeah.
Because they are all foster kids of a doctor in the town. And they're straight up dating each other.
There's rumors about them. There's this mystique. They're basically the celebrities of Forks High School. They all sit down for lunch. This scene is famous among Twilight fans because I don't know if you paid attention to what they were eating.
The Cullens?
Yeah.
I didn't even know they were eating.
That's the thing because,
Were they?
the vampires, they don't eat human food. I don't
Right.
think they can eat human food. It tastes bad or something. I'm
Right,
not up on
right.
the lore. But they got to pretend like they are.
Right, they got to blend in.
So a couple of them have normal plates of lunch. You never see them actually eating. Emmett has a gallon-sized Ziploc bag with 3 hard-boiled eggs in it.
No.
Straight up, that's all it is.
I can't believe I missed that. In the shot. That must be a quick shot.
Oh, it is. Here, let me see if I can find it and show it to you.
3 hard-boiled eggs.
I'm pretty sure we've all agreed it's 3 hard-boiled eggs.
Okay.
Rosalie looks like peeling an apple with her fingers, and
Oh,
you
you're
can
right. Oh, my
see
God.
that there's just a Ziploc bag.
Okay, I thought it blends in with his shirt. That is definitely why I didn't catch it.
Yeah, it's
She's
easy to
eating an
miss.
apple. 3 hard-boiled
Three hard-boiled eggs. What's up with that? Does he
He's
just
keto.
Has he just forgotten how people eat? Is he trying to look like a jock and he's got a
Maybe that's it. He's like, I gotta get my protein.
he's what's the bulking?
Ew. And like, also, how long have those been out of a fridge? Like,
know,
I didn't
right?
see a lunchbox, buddy.
But they just walked in from outside. Did he like drive home to get the eggs?
There are unanswered questions. And also, yeah, where are they coming from? Like, are they coming late to school?
Mm-hmm.
Are they like walking from outside inside? Like,
Right.
is there an outdoor portion of the school? It's in Seattle, so I'm guessing its weather is always a little different.
Yeah.
So, or Forks. Let's remember the hometown.
Famously, it's always rainy. In Forks. That's why
so
they
I'm
live
like,
there.
There's so much that we don't know. Are the other two eating? The other 2 Cullens?
Yeah, I mean, you can see here. Let me pull it back up. Among the 5 of them, there's 2 plates of food.
There's like a weird salad-y thing.
Edward has a plate of food. Emmett has his eggs
And a water bottle.
and a water bottle. Rosalie has an apple and what looks like a can of soda.
Yep.
Jasper and Alice have 1 plate of food between the 2 of them.
Yep.
I think maybe it's helpful that they have this mystique about them. If they didn't, it would be obvious that there's something up with them.
Right.
If you think they're the cool, mysterious ones, you're like, what do they know? Ooh, the fun lunch habits.
Their dad's a doctor. He must have told them that this is what they need to eat.
The doctor dad told them.
The doctor dad told
eat
them.
this bag of eggs.
Eat this bag of eggs. You'll be fine. That will get you through the day.
Any other situation, you would see people eating lunch like that and think, oh, you're not from here.
Correct.
There is something wrong with you.
Yes. I'm glad to know that is something that's been discussed
Oh yeah,
widely within the Twilight saga.
Oh yeah, the Twilight fans have gone over these movies very carefully.
Yes,
and have spotted just about every scene. There is something on the level of weirdness of
strange.
A bag of eggs.
A bag of eggs.
A bag of eggs.
They just roll in with.
Maybe the worst lunch.
And they're like, that's them. They're really hot. Eating a bag of eggs.
Maybe not even eating it, just
fingering it.
Yeah, just like sort of like stage pretending to eat.
Stage eating.
Probably got spit buckets somewhere.
Easily.
Just sort of
easily.
coughing it down their sleeve or something, yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's a great scene in terms of the intro. And also, we haven't really touched on yet, the initial attraction. It's the first time Bella's seeing Edward. The who is that?
And there's also, if you pay close attention at the very end, you get a little glimpse of the first time Edward realizes he can't read her mind.
I know.
I've never watched it this closely before.
Yep.
And I've never paid attention to, little things like that.
Right.
But you can see as Edward is walking through, Robert Pattinson's making a lot of great choices with his facial expressions.
Yep. He overhears Anna Kendrick say yep, I mean, he'll never date me or he'll never like me or something funny. He laughs at it. Yeah.
Yeah. And he sees Bella and tries to read her mind for the first time and can't and looks.
No can do.
And sort of looks like he's also holding in a shit.
Those Cullens.
I
can't figure her out.
Well,
what the hell? And then Kristen Stewart's awkwardly looking down because she's acting. She's famously not my favorite actress. I will say that.
Yeah.
Not the biggest Kristen Stewart fan.
Okay.
Even recently? She did better in Spencer.
I was about to say, you didn't like Spencer?
I didn't hate it.
Yeah.
I just was kind of in a way that when it's those autobiographical movies, it's one long thing, but she just does so much with her face, so much.
Yeah.
Oh God, it's so much. I can't figure it out. It's just a lot going on. No one can see me, but I'm really giving a lot of Kristen Stewart eyebrow.
For the listener, there's a lot of eyebrow action going on. Take that, Oscar-nominated actress Kristen Stewart.
Yeah, take that.
Tone it down a little bit.
No, she does great. She does great in Spencer. But in this, and not that she doesn't do bad in this, I think she hits the mark as Bella being I don't want to move with my dad. I want to stay with my mom. And now I'm in love with a vampire.
A lot of the high school, actors in this are giving almost like caricatures of actual high school students.
Yeah, they're doing a good job with that for sure.
Yeah, it's a lot of bold choices. And I think it's one of those things that you understand why kids love it because it's super relatable to what they're going through at the time. And you understand why as an adult, it's a little, all right, no thank you.
Yeah, it doesn't necessarily make as much sense.
No, it's a tad hammy and sort of.
Definitely.
Not super three-dimensional. But it's fun to look at.
I mean, I love that was the first time. That was the first glance. Perhaps
Yeah.
they're in love.
It's melodramatic. There's nothing wrong with that.
I want to know what happens next.
Speaking of knowing what happens next, at the very top of this scene, Eric, the newspaper guy,
That's the
is
newspaper
talking
guy.
to his friends, and you can hear a little bit of dialogue. It's not anything you were supposed to hear. I'm guessing it's improvised, but he says, we come in mid-sentence, and he's talking about a pyramid falls from the sky, and then you guys can give each other a high five. So my question to you, much like the bag of eggs, is what the hell is going on
What
there?
is going on there?
What is he talking about?
Can you say it one more time? A pyramid is falling from the sky.
Here, I'm going to pause it and play it for you so we can get the
great.
exact
'Cause
audio.
what?
Like masterpiece, you know, we'll have like this crazy pyramid fall from the sky, and then
It's my pleasure,
you guys
madame.
you guys can give each other
Burrito,
a
my friend.
five. Hey, Mikey, you met my home.
I did hear it, but it makes no sense.
A crazy pyramid falls from the sky.
Yep.
And then you guys can like give each other high fives. So I'm guessing he's talking about some sort of video or something.
That's what I kind of am relaying that he was, because he kind of like the high five end of it is when Bella's coming to sit down.
Yeah.
So maybe he gets a little distracted by her, and that might make maybe he just sort of makes something up there. But I would believe it does sound like like a video game, or like he's recounting a dream or something. It could be
okay.
a dream or something, like a pyramid falling from the sky, like, or like a hypothetical situation. It's so strange.
I know. To me, it
That was
sounds like
weird.
he wants to make like a music video or something.
Okay.
That's my assumption.
Oh, I like that.
Right. Or like some
Okay,
sort of
'cause he's
like
artsy.
promoting for the newspaper or prom or something.
like maybe a
But I just
video.
don't know what that would be.
A pyramid falling from the sky.
Yeah.
And then you guys all give each other high fives.
Right. You know, those little movies you make with your friends
Yes,
when you're in high
right.
school. He just
Maybe,
got
I don't know what their school mascot is.
the Spartan. Nothing to do with pyramids.
So that has nothing to do with pyramids.
The pyramid is just
Okay.
for fun, I guess.
That's a good guess, honestly. It's
I'm
just
telling
something
ya.
that he's working on.
Yeah.
Improv?
I'm
Did he
surely-
get liberties there? Like,
I would imagine so, because there's no way
just
like
come in with whatever you want to talk about.
it's not important dialogue. You know, we're not really supposed to pay that much attention to it. There's no way they wrote
Clearly.
it out.
Right.
And it sounds like something a high school kid would just sort of make up and
Make
think
up
is
on the
cool.
spot. I mean,
Yeah.
you'd think that they would do something more like related to them. Like, oh my God, Mrs. Humphrey in mathematics was really a stone cold bitch or something. I mean, if it were me improvising, that's
sure.
what I would do.
I'm okay.
But I don't understand. Yeah, whatever. The pyramid's falling. High fives. I wish that it came back later too.
I know. I wish
I
we
hope
could
it does.
see that.
Keep that in mind.
I
moving
will
forward.
keep an eye out for it.
Like if there's anything we see in even the later movies.
Are they discussing like prom themes? I truly have no idea.
That's another point. But why?
I don't
Why
know.
would we high five?
I don't know. Why is the pyramid falling out of the sky?
I don't understand. And then what did they change the subject? They turned the subject to
It pretty quickly does become about the school paper.
okay.
You know, someone's taking pictures of her for the feature about her that we did get canceled.
Could you imagine being new to your school and someone being like, since you're new, we're
Yeah.
gonna write a feature about you.
And like clearly two of them know about it. They've had time to discuss it. So I guess they heard like Forks High must be so small
Truly.
that one new person
Is huge. To
Right,
them.
and
it
like,
changes the dynamic.
word gets around in advance so that these two people
Yeah.
had time to sit down and be like, new story,
Yeah,
new girl,
yeah.
let's get this all about her.
And the other girls are kind of jealous. Well, Anna Kendrick's a little
Well, of
jealous
course,
over it.
Anna Kendrick is jealous about everything.
yeah.
If your school paper wrote a feature about you, what would it be about?
Oh my God. I probably would talk about like the fact that I was in choir and wanted to be in chamber choir and auditioned for the spring musical Bye Bye Birdie and didn't book it.
Okay,
And then
real important story.
yeah, it was a really
about
important
a
time
local
in my
girl
life.
not getting an audition,
Not getting the role that she wanted. Yeah, we would probably we
Fascinating.
would go off on that.
Okay,
Something like that. Otherwise, if I were brand new to a school, I would completely reinvent myself.
Really?
Like, yes, I was raised in England, but my father needed to come back to the United States to invent a new technology that I can't talk about for reasons.
what
that
it
are
sounds like to me is
FBI
you would
related.
I mean, isn't that exactly kind of what the Cullens did?
Yeah,
You just given the opportunity to go to a new school, you would just make yourself a
make
Cullen.
yourself a Cullen.
That's not a bad idea.
Sounds kind of fun.
I guess.
Like even if you related that to now, if you were to move to a new city, like,
Yeah.
are you bringing everything along with you, or could you be You could be anyone you wanted.
No.
They don't know you.
I did do a little bit of that when I moved to Chicago.
I feel like I did
Yeah.
too. It's a new beginning of some sort. So
Yeah.
you do like have that. You can leave some spider webs in the closet,
Sure.
if you will.
You do have a little bit of an opportunity to start over.
I guess I kind of had that honestly in high school because I went from Catholic school.
Uh-huh.
Similarly, we had a graduating class of 20 in 8th grade.
Okay.
Then I went from there to public school. So big jump in that regard. So
Huge.
there was that like, well, I don't know anyone here. I can
Yeah.
be myself. I can like start all over again and do it the way I want to do it.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of like power in that.
What changes did you make?
I think I just was a little like more extroverted, which I
Yeah.
know is kind of hard to
You're already
imagine because I'm
incredibly
very
extroverted.
extroverted. But I think because middle school was not the best for me.
It was not the best for anyone.
Yes, I think it is for everyone. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like high school is just more of a new beginning to like feel more yourself, and because you're going from 20 to so many more,
Right.
finding more people that you get along with, share the same interests, same pursuits and whatnot. So just a more like coming into my own skin, comfortability thing.
Do you think you would have liked it if they had written a paper about you at your new school, an
Probably
article?
would have been stressed out,
Yeah.
but like me then, probably no. Me now, probably would love it.
It would be nice.
I wouldn't mind because then it's like it does the work for you.
Sure.
Hopefully, it's like a personal ad,
I guess so.
It's
It's like it's an introduction to the whole school.
which is also a little cringy though, in a way. Selling. It's like here's this person.
Trying so hard.
She's here.
You should
Come on.
probably just tell people that your dad's a doctor who
Yeah,
adopted you or
Who
whatever.
adopted me, and
Yeah.
I'm on a diet
Right.
of eggs
I
and
only
water,
eat eggs and I date my sibling.
and I date my half brother.
don't worry about
yeah,
it.
don't worry about it. It's all good.
What did your school paper write about? Because apparently this Forks High talks a lot about teen drinking.
I know it. The topics she brings up are a little forward. She's like boys stuffing their swimsuits.
Well, she's not like other girls,
She's from the West.
Yeah.
Wait, where's her mom live? It's like Arizona. I think it's
Arizona, which is further east than Forks.
yeah, that's east. So
Yeah.
for some reason I thought she was from California, but that's
No.
also probably still east compared to.
Depends on
Where
you're
Forks
at.
is in
California, I guess.
Washington.
Forks is about as west as you can get
Okay.
without leaving the continent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think we had any newspaper per se.
Really?
We did news. Like there was like someone that went on and did the morning news and
Yeah.
read out like announcements and stuff on like a TV. Like
Mm-hmm.
there was a TV studio for that, but not really like a written, like formal newsletter.
Really?
I mean, maybe there was, and I
thought,
just
like
never.
everywhere had school papers.
I guess there was, but it wasn't as like cool or
Uh-huh.
like hip to like pick up and read. Like there wasn't anything that you wouldn't have known like from listening to the announcements in the morning.
Sure.
But I'm sure there was.
Yeah.
But this also probably could have been when things started getting more digital. that,
Yeah.
Like we wouldn't have something physical. It would be more like an email blast of this sort of thing. But I'm sure it would just be full of the sports and the dances coming up
Mm-hmm.
and the fall play.
This is exactly what a Cullen type of person would say.
Thank
Someone
you.
that sat at the Cullen table would be like, "Oh, I don't know, maybe there
I
was.
don't
I
really
didn't
read the
pay
paper.
attention to it." Yeah.
I'm really kind of alternative. Like
what
that.
about flags? Did your lunchroom have flags everywhere?
Did they have flags?
Oh, hell yeah!
we didn't have. We had banners.
I
of
mean, look at
things.
these flags, including there's a lot of flags and a lot of weird flags. You've got right there
It's the only color, also, really, in this entire scene.
this blue and red one here. That's North Korea.
Okay,
And I guess it makes sense that they sort of have every country. I guess you got to have North Korea too.
for sure.
This I'm pretty sure is Antarctica.
Oh wow.
I don't know why you would have that.
Why would you have that? Which
and
one's that one?
That's a great
familiar.
question because I was about to bring that up next. This yellow one with the big red lion in the middle is the,
The
royal.
Lannisters?
No, almost. Basically, is it's the royal banner of Scotland. I only know this because I had to look it up. It was the flag
Okay.
that Scotland used when it was a kingdom before it was taken over by the British. Hasn't been used in hundreds of years, and yet here it is in Forks High
In
School.
Forks High School.
So my question is why?
What's the connection there?
What is the why?
Because that's Ireland, right?
That's India.
Oh, that's India.
And that's Japan.
That's Japan.
And so you've just got some standard country flags. And then just in
This
the
is
middle there, you've got
curious.
Antarctica and a historic flag of Scotland.
Now that to me is a little strange. Is that
That
subliminal
to me is
messaging?
incredibly strange. Subliminal messaging, what kind of
I
subliminal
don't
messaging?
know. That's what I want to know. Like, is there something associated with that flag in that time period that's like suspect?
Maybe it
Like,
posits.
is one of the directors or producers of this like
Yeah.
trying to like stand up for something?
For Scottish independence?
Yes.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe this movie takes place in a universe where
Right.
the English never got Scotland.
They never got it. They never booked.
Braveheart, he did it.
He pulled it off. He said this guy lives in a world in which Braveheart pulled it off. Okay,
Braveheart
strange.
pulled it off, and people eat bags of eggs for dinner.
Maybe though, maybe they,
crazy
because
pyramids
these
fall
flags
from
are
the
all really
sky.
differently colorful. It could be like they just wanted to add a little pizzazz.
Yeah.
Notice there is no red, white, and blue. No USA.
No, I'm sure there is.
Well, there
one.
probably
Some-
is if the
it's
flags are all
in
around.
every classroom or whatever.
That's true.
Yeah, and I'm sure this is like an actual school. I'm sure they didn't get all these flags just for the movie. This is probably just some actual school lunchroom that
Let's
already had these
hope.
flags.
Let's hope so.
That makes me even more curious because then it's
Yeah.
not just some set designer going out and getting as many flags as they could get
Right.
their hands
That means
on.
it was chosen for a reason.
Some actual school out there had these actual flags.
I wonder if we could find the school.
I don't know.
That's a good thing to look up later. Like find out where that was filmed.
Yeah.
Although maybe because it might not even be in Washington,
I think this was all the high school stuff was done in Oregon.
Oregon.
Yeah,
Okay.
a lot of the sort of exterior Forks shots were actually in Oregon, which is
Okay.
why if you go to Forks, Washington, like Mindy and I did, you'll be
Did you?
disappointed.
Oh
Yeah.
no! And there's
Yeah.
nothing that's like that they've. Is there anything they filmed there?
There's a couple. They would do some like driving through town shots.
Got it.
But other than that, it's all Oregon. And so if you go to Forks thinking you're going to have some fun sightseeing time,
You'd be wrong.
you would be wrong. You'll see about 2 things and then drive back to
Okay.
Seattle.
Okay.
And I can tell you
These are
that from
Easter eggs.
firsthand experience.
Okay.
These
You're doing
movies-
it so no one else has to. You
Yeah.
did the work.
I mean, look, if
for
you
all of
want
us.
to, I'm not going to stop you.
No, right. Your body, your
it's
choice.
it's a beautiful drive from Seattle to Forks.
Oh, I bet.
Oh, you get to take
How
a
long
ferry.
is
It was a couple hours,
Okay.
maybe, and about 45 minutes of that, maybe less than 45, was a ferry ride across
Lovely.
Puget Sound.
And you drive your car onto the ferry.
You drive onto the ferry. Yeah, you can go up and sit and then ride the ferry, and then you drive through like a national forest.
Oh,
There's this one,
cool.
you're on like a little 2-lane road for like an hour, and on the left is like a mountain going straight up, and on the right is a lake.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, it's a-
Okay.
it's a
They
great
should have done
drive.
more filming there.
Absolutely, they should have. And if you ever get a chance to go, do it just for that, and then turn around.
And then turn around
Yeah.
and know that you're not going to get what you want.
Go to the Twilight Forever Museum in Forks, and then that's all. That's about it.
They have a museum.
Oh, they have a museum in Forks.
Is it called Twilight Forever?
It's called Twilight Forever. Museum is a strong word. It is a room about the size. Listeners, you can't see the apartment that I'm in right now, but if you just sort of, where the kitchen island is there, that down to the window,
Oh,
this
a
sort of
room.
rectangle is about
Wow.
the size of the museum. It's full
Okay.
of. Full is a strong word. About half of
Memorabilia.
it is like costumes and props, and
Oh,
the
okay.
other half is like, here's a quilt that a fan made. Here's Twilight books in 20
was-
different
They
languages.
were struggling to fill the room.
They
I
do
think.
have to stretch.
Here's a quilt a fan made.
Yeah,
They should put these flags in there.
they should put those flags
Take
in
those
there.
flags down.
The best part of this is that it is run by volunteers who
Bless
are a
their
group
hearts.
of Twilight cosplayers.
Oh.
Which means when Mindy and I went, we did not know this beforehand.
better.
But when we walked in, we had to ring a doorbell,
Mm-hmm.
and the door was opened by Rosalie,
No.
who was dressed exactly as
In
she is
this
dressed
outfit?
in this scene, in this exact outfit.
Okay.
Colored contacts,
pendant.
the gray pantsuit, the pendant, everything.
Honestly, love her fashion.
The blonde wig.
Blonde
and
wig.
she will be in character the whole time.
Really?
She will say that, oh, her family just lives outside of town. We were not prepared for that.
And you're like, oh, great.
That is almost exactly Mindy's reaction when Rosalie opened the door and said, hi, my name is Rosalie. Mindy's, the words that came out of her mouth,
What?
I'm not going to exaggerate this at all, were, yeah, okay. just like,
yeah, okay.
I'll play
That's what you
along.
believe in.
Yeah, yes, and
Yes,
we're here to
and
see your museum.
We're here to see your museum that you are not getting paid to stand here in costume for.
Truly a delight if you
Honestly,
do get a chance to
that's
go.
a memory, and I'm glad you have that.
It was a great way to spend her birthday.
That's a
we
beautiful
did that
gift.
on her actual birthday.
That's a memory.
It was a
truly.
great trip.
That is wild.
If you had to give this scene a name, what would it be? And this is also going to be the name of the episode, so make it good.
Ooh, oh, pressure's on. I mean, like I said, it does give that energy of like the opening, like this is who's in the cast
Yeah.
kind of a thing. Like, I mean, maybe like the Vanderpump Rules of Forks
The Vanderpump Rules.
or the real vampires of Forks.
The real
Let's do
vampires
that. Like the Real Housewives, but the real vampires of Forks.
of Forks. Okay.
I like that.
It's in.
I think that's better.
It's the name. I do think
Because
so
it's an
too.
entrance. It's like an entrance, and
Yeah.
Have you watched any of those
No,
reality
of course
shows?
not.
Well, they always do the entrances where it's like they flip their hair slow motion, or like do a turn, and there's music playing. And that's basically what's happening in the scene.
Lexi Alioto.
Yeah.
If our listeners want to find out more about you, maybe follow you on social media, maybe want to hear what you've got going on right now, where can they do that? Where can they find you?
They can check me out on Soch. I'm at Alioto92. Not my birth year or anything.
Where'd the 92 come from then?
No, it is my birth.
Oh, it's my birth year too.
I
Okay.
was just made an Instagram right when Instagram happened, and it's like, yeah, way to like hide your age there, girly.
Yeah.
But I haven't changed it.
Okay.
That's where I do post if I have any shows going on. So please go there to see any of that happening. And if you want riveting video footage of me singing to my cat, Maddie Cat,
Ooh.
check it out there.
That does sound promising.
Oh, it's a gift that I'm
Okay.
willing to give. So
Okay.
check me out.
Check her out. Check the show out at bitesizedpod_ on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. You can follow me at benebear.com on those same places. You can come see me in Riff, Chicago's music improv party, most Saturday nights at IO Chicago. Follow me on social media to find out all about that. If you want to support the show, tell a friend. Word of mouth truly is the best way to get word around. Leave us a review or whatever on your podcast app of choice. Make that algorithm work for us. If you know anything about eggs or flags or any other part of this scene, you can send an email to the show, and maybe I'll read it on the air. You can send an email to myfavoritetwilightpodcast@gmail.com. I tried about 7 or 8 different versions that involved the actual name of the show, Bite Sized, and they were all taken. So I got mad and used a full sentence instead.
I like the full sentence.
It's memorable, right?
It is, yes.
It's 4 words you already know how to spell. My favorite Twilight podcast @gmail.com. Easy peasy, nothing
Send
to
the
it.
email. We want the answers.
Send an email about something we've already discussed, something we will discuss. We want to hear from you. Our editor is Ben Oxshire. Our theme song is Mauled to Death by the fantastic band Swimwear Department. Give them a listen wherever you find music. That is it for this episode of Bite Sized, your favorite Twilight podcast. As we always say at the end of each show,
Get it, girl.
get it, girl. That is indeed what we always say. See you next time.